My mother sold me for $100. My name is Laylee. I was born in a small town near the city of San Antonio in the state of Texas in the United States. The town was quiet, and most of the residents worked on cattle farms or in small gas stations located along the highways. We lived in an old wooden house that had 2 rooms and a backyard with a large oak tree. My father died when I was 6 years old because of a car accident on the highway. After his death, our life changed in a clear way. My mother became the only person responsible for me and my younger brother Daniel. She worked cleaning rooms in a small hotel on the edge of the city and returned every evening very tired. In that area, it was common for teenagers to start working at an early age. Many of my friends in high school had part-time jobs after school in fast food restaurants or gas stations. As for me, I used to go straight home to help my mother organize the house and take care of my younger brother. When I turned 13 years old, I started to notice a change in my mother's behavior. She began to receive a strange man in our house on a regular basis. His name was Mark. He was a man in his 40s, tall, and he worked as a truck driver transporting goods between different states. He used to sit in the living room and talk to my mother in a low voice. One day, I heard my mother say to him, "I need money now. I cannot pay the rent for the house." In that city, rent had to be paid on the first day of every month, and if a person was late, the landlord could force them to leave the house within a few days. This system was well known there and placed poor families under constant pressure. 1 week after that conversation, my mother asked me to wear clean clothes. She told me that we were going on a short trip to another city called Houston. We woke up early in the morning and took a public bus from the transportation station. The trip lasted about 3 hours. When we arrived, my mother took me to an old neighborhood that had attached houses and narrow streets. We entered a gray 1-story house. A man I had never seen before welcomed us. He was holding a notebook in his hand and asked me to sit on a chair in the corner of the room. The man spoke with my mother in English very quickly, then he opened his wallet and took out cash. I clearly saw that he gave her $100. My mother put the money into her bag, then looked at me and said, "You will stay here for a short period until our situation becomes better." I did not understand what was happening. I asked her, "When will we go back home?" She answered, "Soon." Then she left the house and walked out alone. At that moment, I realized that my mother had gone without me. I tried to follow her, but the door was locked from the outside. The man spoke to me in a strict tone and told me that I would stay in this house and help with daily chores in exchange for food and a place to sleep. In that area, some people used to exploit children from poor families and force them to work in cleaning houses or taking care of elderly people. It was not legal, but some individuals did it because they needed cheap labor. My new life in that house began immediately. I used to wake up at 6 in the morning, clean the floors, wash the dishes, and arrange the rooms. I was not allowed to leave the house except once a week to buy food from a nearby store. 1 full month passed without seeing my mother or receiving any phone call from her. At school, my teacher noticed that I looked tired and that I did not participate in activities. In the United States, schools are required by law to report suspected child abuse or neglect to the authorities. My teacher asked me about my situation, and I told her the truth. My mother left me here after this man gave her $100. The next day, a social worker from the Child Protection Department arrived at the school. She spoke with me in the principal's office and asked detailed questions about my life. After that, the police went to the house where I was living. An investigation was conducted with the man, and it was discovered that he was employing children illegally. I was transferred to a temporary care center, which is a government facility that receives children who do not have families capable of taking care of them. After several weeks of searching, the authorities found my mother in another city. She was living with a new person and working in a restaurant. When they confronted her about what happened, she admitted that she had left me with that man in exchange for money because she was afraid of being evicted from the house and did not find another solution. The court issued a decision to remove my mother's custody temporarily, and I was placed under the care of a foster family. In that family, there was a clear system, a specific time for studying, a time for eating meals, and bedtime at a fixed hour. They celebrated official holidays such as Thanksgiving, when the family gathered around a large table and ate roasted turkey together. With time, I returned to school normally. I started to learn new skills and participated in sports activities. For the first time, I felt that I was living in a safe place. Today, after many years since that incident, I still remember the moment when I saw my mother take the $100 and walk away. That moment changed the direction of my life completely and made me realize that in some countries, the law intervenes to protect children when families fail to protect them.